Actually, so I don't know whether you are type of believing what other people say or not. So, but actually, so there are some people, so so be not roughly saying, but actually, so telling the truth. So being gullible or being gullible is good stuff because people need to, so generally speaking, people need to be brainwashed, or people need to be controlled by, for example, by the general thought, or by the by the general atmosphere of what other people think, and which is how people can adapt into a human society, and they people as a people human beings as a whole can survive through the era, or through for a long time. They have given birth to the next generation, the generation after generation, through which people have survived, and which is, and one of the features which enables the people to survive. The pronunciation of people is difficult for me, but people can be a corrected pronunciation in the case of British English, or something like that. Anyway, so brainwash is what I'm talking about, or brainwash, or being gullible, or Anyway, so being brainwashed, or being gullible, and believing what other people say, or believing what others say can be one of the features which enables the people to survive generation after generation, or for a long time, hundreds of years, or thousands of years. And anyway, roughly, what I'm talking about this time is that people believe fake news easily, which is a topic, or which is what I'd like to talk about this time. And the title is, so I'm going to tell you the title abruptly, and the title is, have your anus raped painfully, and you get a native level of English skill. And the conclusion is, people easily believe fake news. And one of the examples is that so Japanese people believe the rumor that Korean people poisoned the water supplies in 1923, just after the huge earthquake. And so this example is an actual story, meaning, so the truth is that there was a huge earthquake hundred years ago, and I'm recreating this recording in 2023, or it's April 2023, not April 23, or April 2023, and I don't tell you the actual date of this time. And anyway, so almost 100 years ago, there was a huge earthquake in Kanto region, or anyway, where Kanto region is the main region in Japan. Anyway, I'm by the way, so my mother tongue is Japanese, and I'm a Japanese person living in Japan, and meaning, so what I'm speaking is a non-native language, or I can speak English natively, which is why, so maybe you find my English really clumsy, or staggering. My manner of speaking is staggering, or anyway, so I shouldn't tell you more. So I don't have a long time, and actually, so that is an unfortunate accident, or unfortunate event. But actually, so people at that time, when a huge earthquake happened in 1923, people after that earthquake, Japanese people, or the local people in this country believes that there is a sizable Korean people at that time, and they poisoned the water supply in that region. And anyway, so there's such a rumor, which is what I'm talking about. And there had been such a rumor, or there was such a rumor for temporary, or for short time, for brief time, just after the huge earthquake which happened in 1923, and the local people in my country began to massacre, or began to decimate, or began to kill many Korean people. At that time when at that time is in 1923, when that huge earthquake happened, and many Korean immigrants came into my country, and they got killed because of that rumor. And of course, there was not such a fact. but actually, such a massacre or such a, so killing so hard, and like which, people easily believe fake news, and here is the thing. So here is the thing, or the thing is, wait a moment, please. So as I wrote in the section of title, have your anus raped painfully, and you get a native level of English skill. And meaning, so if I tell you that I got fucked by a mistress, for example, before my marriage, so I'm a married person, and when I, so there's an ex-girlfriend. There was a sadistic girlfriend who fucked me, or who raped me in the asshole, and after, and by which I could I could acquire this proficiency of English language, and if so, my proficiency of course, so my proficiency of English language is not so high, but actually, so there may be some non-native speakers who can speak English non-natively, but who can speak English really at really high levels. There must be such people, and I don't know how you find my proficiency or my skill of speaking English language, but actually, so if I for example, if I tell you, or if those non-native speakers who are good at speak, who can handle English like native speakers, if those people tell you, for example, they have once in the past, they had to be raped, or they had to be fucked, or they had to be anyway, inserted in the asshole, or in their assholes by sadistic ladies, or sadistic girls, or ex-girls. For example, they had been raped in their assholes, or in the anuses by their sadistic ex-girlfriends, for example. If there had been such an event, such events, for example, and they told me, not they told me, but they told you such a thing, which is a hypothetical situation, and you may believe that, you may believe those stories, which is what I'm saying. And but actually, so of course, there's not such a thing like there's not such a thing that you can acquire high skills or high proficiencies of English language by having your anus fucked by sadistic girls or sadistic ladies. So you don't have to have your anus fucked by them anyway. But actually, you need to study English for acquiring high levels or high skills of English language. But actually, people easily believe in fake news, which is the point I'd like you to be careful of, or which is the point, which is the stuff I'd like you to know this time. And I'm going to tell you the title and the conclusion of this episode. The title is Have Your Anus Raped Painfully and You Get a Native Level of English Skill. And the conclusion is People easily believe fake news. The example is Japanese people believed the rumor Korean people poisoned the water supplies. There is a rumor that Korean people poisoned the water supplies in 1923, just after the huge earthquake. And if you have not understood what I'm saying, so please take a look at the description column of this episode. And this fake news can be realistic. So for example, this is I have a blood memory about the story of Twilight, which has been popular 10 some years before anyway. And Twilight is a story about vampires, young vampires actually, and so to become vampires. So I don't have the exact recollection about how to become vampire, but actually human beings can become vampires. But to become vampires, they have to experience really extreme pains or really extreme sufferings through which they can become vampires, and in turn, or in exchange for those extreme sufferings or extreme pains, human beings lose their memories before they had before becoming vampires. There's such a fallout, or there was such a outcome about becoming vampires. I don't have exact memory about the stories of Twilight. Anyway, there's such a story of novels. Anyway, but actually, so concerning which it can be trustworthy that or the fake news can be trustworthy, and the fake news is what is written in the description in the title of this episode. Having your anus raped or inserted by sadistic girlfriends, and you can become proficient in English language to a native level, which can be realistic, if anyway, concerning the story of Twilight, in which human beings can become vampires, but actually they have to experience really painful experiences anyway. So that's it. Thank you very much for everything. See you.